Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Thursday morning. It's Stephen Whiteside here from theuptrend.com. In the pre-market this morning, stock index futures are trading just above fair value. Things are fairly quiet out there. Canadian employment numbers are going to be released this morning at 8:30, while U.S. employment numbers are coming out on Friday morning when the market's closed. Commodities are mixed this morning, with crude oil slightly higher, while gold is slightly lower on Thursday morning. Now, yesterday morning at this time, I mentioned we were going to be making some changes to the website. That's going to happen on Friday, and totally unrelated to that happening is the fact that our database blew up yesterday afternoon, and it took a while to put it back together, and you basically had to go through every line, every symbol in the database to make sure they were lining up correctly. I had a lot of things that were just weird, like British Petroleum became the British Pound, and the British Pound became British Petroleum. A lot of things were mixed up. It's all back together now. It's all working, so I apologize for that. Again, we are going to be putting up a new front end. It should happen on Friday. The only thing that you will notice is there'll be a new link from the front end to the back end. The back end is not going to change at this time. It will change in the near future, but it isn't going to change on Friday. Now, yesterday we talked about the market hitting a wall, and one of the areas of the market that we were looking at was the utility sector, and that blew up yesterday and took off, running basically up to the next price target. So that's quite a large move for the utilities. The Dow had an inside day yesterday. We saw the transports continue to move lower. The NASDAQ and the NASDAQ 100 still pulling back. The Russell continued to pull back in the Canadian market. The TSX 60 pulled back, and we saw the Venture Exchange come down and start trading down below what was supposed to be support, which isn't acting as support at the present time. So the Venture Exchange, I just want to point out that it did make a lower high, so that's bearish for the Venture Exchange and all of those micro cap stocks. Now, we're watching the NASDAQ closely because it is the biggest area of the U.S. market. And you can see we have an early warning signal there again on the panic zone chart. We have traded up to our next price target of 320.31. So cha-ching, you got to lock in some profits there. Now we're waiting to get kicked out, or if we take out this week's high, then 328.13, you should have an order in up there to sell a partial position. If not, on Thursday, we need to close below 310.80. If that doesn't happen, of course, that lower channel line will continue to move higher daily. Now, looking at the TSX Infotech Index, we've got an early warning signal up there. Of course, we can't really trade this index, so we just watch it to see where this sector is going, and you can see that we're stopped at 168.75. We had a pullback yesterday, and we have Shopify back on a sell signal. We'll take a look at that later in the presentation. Now, if we look at some of the subsectors of the technology area, we've got cloud computing trading down to the lower channel line. We've got cybersecurity still on a buy signal, no change there. Pulled back in the channel. FANG stocks pulled back into the channel. We've got social media back on a sell signal, and we've got semiconductors back on a sell signal. And that is the most important area of the technology sector, is the semiconductors. So there's a big fat sell signal there. Then the ARK Innovation, or the ARK ETFs themselves, none of them have performed well lately. There's the ARK Innovation ETF back on a sell signal, as with the industrial ETF. And I have no interest in following or playing any of these ARK ETFs at all. Some of the stocks are certainly interesting, but I certainly wouldn't want to put any money into those ETFs. Now, of course, if things break down, what am I going to be doing? Well, I'm going to be switching from bull ETFs to bear ETFs. So whether you're looking on the TSX with the Horizon Beta Pro products, or you're looking in the US where I play the 3X, you can also you can play the NASDAQ 100, or you can certainly play a technology leveraged bear ETF and wait for the buy signals there. Now, if you're watching financial news, you know that a lot of people are excited about sector rotation. If the technology sector starts to pull back, something else will come up and fill the void. Well, that's pretty well impossible to do. If we look at this heat map of the S&P 500, this is technology over here. This is the pure technology sector. Then we have some other technology stocks that we follow that have been lumped into other sectors such as communication services, and then we've got Amazon and Tesla over here. So this is the area of the market I spend 90% of my time looking at. So if that rolls over, and yesterday utilities had a great day, here's the utility sector down here, this little area down here. Or what if crude oil goes to $100? Well, here's the energy sector in the S&P 500. So even if if money's going to come out of technology and they're going to go into these sectors, that's not going to be able to hold the market up for any length of time. So just be aware of that. And you've got financial services, you've got banks, you've got the different areas of the market. But if technology rolls over, that is the market right now. It wasn't always that way, but that's the way it is right now. So if we start getting sell signals in Apple and Microsoft and all the other major tech stocks, that's the market rolling over, and that's the direction the market is going to go in. Now, speaking of technology stocks, the four that we've been watching over the past couple of weeks, Apple's still on a buy signal here, looking for a close below 159.94 on Thursday. Then Microsoft's still on a buy signal, looking for a close below 278.24. Shopify is back on a buy signal as of Wednesday's close, and Tesla is also back on a buy signal as of Wednesday's close. Next up, a quick look at commodity prices with gold heading towards 2062.50. So it'll certainly be a tell if gold starts breaking down below 2,000, well above the upper channel line at the moment. We closed down just $2.60 yesterday. There is some bearish divergence. If you look at the momentum indicator on the midterm chart versus price action at the top, that may fade away over time, but right now that is bearish divergence. Then looking at the price of silver, pulled back slightly yesterday, sitting here at $25.03. And then crude oil has had an inside day of an inside day. Now, crude oil popped earlier in the week, and if you had an order in at 75, of course, it got executed at the open. And then if you had an order in at 78.13, that got executed on the same day. So congratulations if you're trading crude oil and you had your orders in the market. Last up, looking at the VIX. The VIX was basically unchanged yesterday, really. We're looking for a close on Thursday above 21.47 to tell us that the options traders have turned bearish on the stock market. Okay, folks, that's all for me for this week. Wishing everyone a happy Easter, happy Passover, and the next time you'll hear my voice is on Sunday.